Hey guys, David Pingree here with another garage build project. We're at Paula Raceway today, and we've got my 2018 Husqvarna TC125. And this is the bike that I've kind of been ramping up, getting ready for the 125 races this summer. Super excited about those things happening, and I wanted a good bike to get out there and try to help haul me around my old decrepit body. So I think this thing's going to be a lot of fun. Took it to Pro Circuit. Those guys do a great job still with two strokes, and basically had Mitch go in, do the porting, some work on the head. It comes stock with a Vertex piston, so the piston's already pretty good. We just threw one of those back in. Full exhaust system. They got this thing jetted, put it on the dyno. I got some really good VP fuel. It's the MRX02, which is what Mitch suggested, and he said this thing rips. So you know, it already comes with a lot of really good parts and pieces, from the V-Force reed block to the crank. All the parts and pieces in these bikes are already really great. So it's pretty easy. We put a different ignition on here as well. We've tried different carbs. We tried Electron carb. Right now it has the stock Mikuni on it, but we got a 38 Keihin that is we're going to test today. We've been told that's a pretty good option. Jet's a little cleaner. So we're trying everything we can to make this thing good. Bones is coming out with us today as well to do some testing on the suspension. So this is the standard fork that comes with it. Air fork that he's done some work on, got everything valved and set up. We're going to also try their spring conversion kit, which I've typically liked in the past, but we're going to go back to back and see which one I like better. So the Pro Circuit guys really on board with this thing. I can't thank them enough for their help. They really stepped in and got this thing ripping for me. So we've also got a lot of parts and pieces on here that we like to use. I'm a Renthal guy, long time, so we got Renthal bars and grips, Works connection pieces, all the blue anodized stuff. We got the Works connection foot pegs, the Pro pegs. These things are titanium, super grippy platform, really nice. And W built us a set of wheels. I wanted silver rims, so he got me some DID Dirt Stars and put them with their ultralight hub in the magnesium color. Came out great. Those guys do an awesome job. Big thanks to W. You know, those guys obviously taking care of a lot of the factory teams and really high quality components. So can't thank them enough for their help. For the look of it, Paleo Ranch is a company that I am a part owner in, so really wanted to pump them up. But we had Polisport send us the plastic, and this is the first year they've made this Husqvarna blue. I think it looks pretty neat. And then the DeCal Works guys came through with the graphic build for us. But Polisport makes any color you want, all the manufacturers. They've got everything from swing arm guards, frame guards. Man, they've got a full complement of things you can use. And some really cool radiator screens as well. If you're racing in sand or mud a lot, check those things out. Those are really nice features. I'm going to try to get some of those to put on here. But Polisport really came through and did a good job building this nice looking plastic. MotoSeat finished the cover for us. We got some Dunlop MX3Ss mounted on here, which are kind of our favorite. And we put Moto-Master rotors on there, so and a Supersprox sprocket and chain. So I think we're ready to go. Hinson clutch. We just did the cover and the springs. The stock clutch on this bike is great. Not a whole lot of reason to change it unless you are just looking to replace it with something different. But it works great for us. We just did a little bit stiffer spring, and I think we're ready to go on this thing. So let's get it on the track, do some testing, and we'll get back to you with this thing in its final form. We've been out here all day putting laps on this thing and tweaking and tuning, and fastest 125 I've probably ever ridden. This thing is a missile. Really kind of tough to get your hands around at first, because when it comes out of the turns and you get on the throttle, I mean, it wants to wheelie. It's a lot of fun. we've been tweaking with some suspension. We're still kind of going back and forth. Bones is out here. We're bouncing between the standard AER fork that comes on it, and then they have a spring conversion kit. So we wanted to try them both back to back and kind of see which feel I was more comfortable with. And we got this one working great, the AER. Went back to the spring, and you know, for me, I like the feel of a spring fork. It feels a little heavier, more planted to me, where the air fork feels like it rides a little taller, and I get a little bit of pop with it at times. There's little characteristics that I just don't care for. So I went with the spring conversion kit, and it's something that Pro Circuit sells. They can do very easily to your air fork if you're not happy with it. Check it out if it's something that interests you. Pro Circuit's done a lot of testing with Ivan Tedesco and some of the stuff with myself, and it works great. They do have a good setting on the AER fork if you want to keep that. Like I said, we got it to where I was pretty happy with it. I just like the feel of the spring fork better, and I can't really put a finger on exactly what it is other than to say it feels a little heavier, more planted, and more consistent to me, to what I like. So the linkage on this also made a big difference. The Pro Circuit link arms, a little longer, squats it down a little bit, just kind of lets you feel planted as you get into turns. Around sweepers, kind of felt like the back end would stay planted instead of kind of wanting to hop around. So little subtle things like that, but it made a big difference. And I was really glad Bones came out, and we got this thing really handling great. As far as the motor goes, it's a rocket. Mitch went through this thing, and I told him, I said, make me the fastest 125 you can make me, and he didn't disappoint. It's on VP MRX02 race fuel, which is expensive, but it's very, very good. It makes a ton of power. And so I want to thank the VP guys for giving us a little bit of fuel to try with it. I'm going to have to go buy some of this, so if I get to these other rounds, I'm going to want to have the good race fuel, obviously. It makes a big difference. And we use Maxima, the K2 oil. That's what the Dogger sent me. He says that's the business, so I trust what he says. We use Maxima products on all of our stuff here on my bikes, so Pro Filter and all that works great. Anyway, the power plant's amazing on this thing. Hopefully I can get to some of those 125 races this summer and you'll be able to see this thing in action, because it's really, really fast. Sounds awesome. Thanks to W, the wheels on this thing I think look great. The brakes work really well with the Moto-Master rotors. You know, these things have a really good steel braided line. Like, the brakes are already good on these anyway, so we just kind of made them look a little cooler with the Moto-Master rotors. And the W wheel set's just a really solid wheel set. So thank you to those guys. I was stoked with the Renthal bars. I may try a lower bend, something a little flatter, just to see kind of what I like. You know, each bike that you ride, the triangle from, you know, seat to bar height's a little different. So sometimes I like these bars, sometimes I like flatter bars. I just need to find something that I'm comfortable with on this. The pegs, the Works Connection pegs are amazing. These are my go-tos, the Pro pegs. And, you know, we've got lots of Works Connection parts and pieces that we use. They just finish it off really nice. If you look at all the brake caps, for the hydraulic clutch and the brake, they make these now in any color you want. So check Works Connection out. A lot of cool parts and pieces there. And again, thank you to Polisport for the plastic. I think it looks great. I think we built a really cool looking bike that is basically almost competitive in the TVDF class. Almost. But as far as the 125 class goes, this thing's going to be a missile. So looking forward to getting it out there on the track against some other 125s. Thank you to everybody that was involved. Check out paleoranch.com if you want to see what we got going on there. And we'll see you guys at the 125 races this summer.